Hello and welcome to Acing Academy YouTube channel. My name is Arjun Chabbra. I'm a faculty of civil engineering at Acing Academy, and over here in this video we'll be talking about what are the last minute tips or last couple of days or couple of months of preparation strategy which is required for the students to perform well in GATE examination. Now you all must be preparing well for GATE examination, and I hope so. You are going forward towards test series by now, and the importance of test series in these last couple of months is very much, and consecutively revising your notes as well. But nevertheless, we'll be pointing out all of these important points, weightage analysis of the subjects, how to approach various subjects, what to ignore in a couple of subjects as well. That is also very important, because as far as the previous year weightages of various subjects is considered, it is not required that we cover all the things of a particular subject. Now, there are some important topics, high weightage subjects as well. We cannot ignore them. We have to cover as much as we can. But nevertheless, when it is required that you want to secure above 60 or 70 marks in GATE examination, cover as much syllabus as you can. And if your target is somewhere between 50 to 60 marks, so you can ignore a couple of subjects as well. But if you want to score high, it's highly recommended that you cover as much syllabus as you can, because at the end of the day, in the actual examination, you don't know what type of questions will be asked, what will be the level of question. And obviously, we can just have an idea of the previous year questions, the kind of questions which have been asked in GATE examination. But as far as the history of GATE examination is concerned, you cannot take it for granted. So if your aim is above 60, above 70 or above 80 even, then you cannot ignore even the slightest of the things if you want to score high in GATE examination. But nevertheless, keep this video as a reminder call of how to prepare for GATE examination in this last couple of days. So you all must be knowing that you have two sections, general aptitude and engineering discipline is there. So in general aptitude section, 1 mark 5 questions are there, 2 mark 5 questions are there, total 10 questions are there for 15 marks. You all know that. But general aptitude section, I have seen personally many students, including maths also, the maths portion it is there in your engineering discipline, 12 to 13 marks. They take these two parts of this GATE examination very lightly, and they take, leave that for the end days. Do not do that, because this is the most scoring part. Moreover, mathematics students tend to ignore a lot, because sometimes some students, not practice well for mathematics. They, stay away from maths until the last period of time. No, that is the biggest mistake, because two of these parts of GATE examination collectively accounts for 27 to 28 marks, right? So you cannot ignore that. I have seen personally topper students as well, out of 15 marks in general aptitude, securing 1 or 2 marks and even 3 marks. Last year itself, one of the toppers of mechanical engineering branch was falling in this category, that he secured very less in general aptitude section, which is not advisable at all, because you will be falling back on your rank a lot. Now, moreover, general aptitude section, how to approach that section, a separate video has been already uploaded. If you want to check that out, you can check that out as well. And for other aspects as well, it will be uploaded in the future also. But nevertheless, in engineering discipline, you have 1 mark 25 questions and 2 mark 30 questions. 3 types of questions are there: MSQs, NATs, and MCQs, right? So MSQs were introduced in last couple of years only. Before 2020, there were not no MSQ questions. But MSQ questions, students, have been considering that, the new students tend to consider these MSQ questions as tough. Actually, they are not. Most of the MSQ questions are theoretical in nature, and it can be numerical based MSQ as well. But as far as we have seen, MSQ questions mostly have been on a theoretical side, taken inspiration from engineering services prelims part, right, in which multiple statements are given and more than 2 or 3 statements can be correct in that. But that is in a form of MSQ, so you have to tick mark all the correct options. The positive side is that MSQ questions and NAT questions, they don't have any negative marking. So try to attempt them wisely, right? And you got nothing to lose in these type of questions because there is no negative marking. Point is, in the worst case scenario, you will be getting 0 marks if you are not answering the question correctly. MCQ questions only have negative marking. How much negative marking is there in MCQ questions? 1 mark, it is 1/3 negative marking. 2 mark, that is 2/3 negative marking. Most of the questions which are asked are falling in these two categories only: MCQs, sorry, and NATs. MSQ questions, number of MSQ questions in the previous years, you will find a bit less. More questions are MCQs and NATs. Now, there is no fixed bifurcation ratio between these type of questions. It is up to the gate examiner and the people who are conducting the gate exam, right? And 65 questions are there, 100 marks, and 3 hours of examination, it is there. Point being noted over here is that students who want to secure well in gate examination should be have some kind of knowledge of the weightage of various subjects of civil engineering. So if we'll consider the weightage of various subjects for the last couple of years, you can see that on this particular slide itself. If you want to click a screenshot of that, you can click a screenshot of this. As far as possible, keep that in mind that general aptitude, fix 15 marks will be there. Engineering mathematics, 8, 13, 14 marks will be there, right? So in this particular video, we won't be talking about the topics of engineering mathematics because I'm not an expert in that. So a separate video will be uploaded for that as well. But as far as the civil engineering topics are to be considered, you can see the subjects have been listed with respect to their weightage and importance. So geotechnical engineering is the most important subject out of all the subjects because of the weightage. In geotechnical engineering, the weightage is enormous, close to 15 marks in some cases, 14 marks. You can see for 2026, 2025 and 2023, 16 marks of geotechnical engineering questions were asked. So it is quite high weightage. So if you are thinking of leaving any particular topic of geotechnical engineering, don't do that at all. Geotechnical engineering, environmental engineering as well. Environmental engineering also quite a lot of weightage. In 2023, again, 16 marks of questions were asked from environmental engineering. So this weightage tend to give us an idea of, let's say, if I cover diligently, if I cover these 4 topics itself only, I am falling well close in 50, above 50 range, right? Only these 4 topics if I cover. But if you will be able to secure above 50, very low chance, because 100% accuracy, achieving 100% accuracy of all the questions you have attempted, it's very, very rare. So that is why it is advisable to cover more subjects, because achieving 100% accuracy in the actual examination is difficult. It's not easy, right? If you are giving your mock test right now, full-length mock test, if you have been approaching towards that, if you are able to achieve 100% accuracy in all the examination, there's a very high chance that you will be able to do that. But I have seen the topper students as well losing out on some questions. It's very rare that 100% accuracy is achieved. But as far as number of questions which are there, you can expect in both of them around 6-7 questions, 8 questions can be there for individually. Apart from that, transportation engineering as well has quite a lot of weightage, in some cases above 10 marks as well. So it is one of the most important subjects in civil engineering also. Strength of materials, 6 to 8 marks you can expect. Apart from that, FM and OCF collectively around 6-7 marks in some cases. You can see 2024 10 marks. So these are subjects which can never be ignored, and they are highly scoring subjects as well, including OCF. OCF is one of the most scoring subjects. Number of topics are less, and there is guarantee that the questions will come from OCF. Apart from that, structural analysis as well. In some years, structural analysis weightage has been on a lesser side. For example, in 2024, you can see only 3 mark of questions were asked, but nevertheless, when you take an average of last 10 years, yeah, 7 marks, you can see. RCC 4 to 5 marks, 6 marks in some cases. So on an average, you can see 4 or 5 marks of RCC weightage. Surveying as well, around 4-5 marks so weightage is there. Hydrology also 2-3 marks, 4 marks of weightage will be there. Steel structures is one of the most least asked topics, and mostly the questions will be asked from your welded connections topic, and a couple of more topics as well. We'll see as we'll move forward, but again, 1 or 2 questions. This weightage is without plastic analysis, right? So plastic analysis, I'm covering that part in structural analysis topic. So if you'll see that plastic analysis is taken in steel structures, in some cases you'll be considering that in structural analysis as well. So this weightage which you see for structural analysis, it is including the weightage of plastic analysis topic. And after that, irrigation engineering as well, quite a less weightage, and construction materials and management. CPM part also, an important topic. You can expect 1 or 2 questions from that. One question is, very much possible. But when we talk about subject weightage, as I told you, that focus more on your high weightage subjects. Ensure that strong foundation has been built in all those subjects. You have seen the weightage, make your decision diligently according to the weightage. I'm not saying that ignore this subject, ignore that subject, but obviously less weightage questions or less weightage subjects can be ignored, like steel structures, it can be ignored. Irrigation, some parts you can cover, right? That is possible. Apart from that, CPM part also you can cover, only that part. Because other than that, covering and giving a lot of time to that in this last couple of days, not required. So selective study can be done if you are a student who is very much overwhelmed with the kind of syllabus which is there, and if you want to ignore some topics. So for your idea, I am now sharing the topics which you can consider in a particular subject. So important topics, the questions from which it has been seen that the questions have been asked from various subjects. So let's talk about engineering mechanics. So including the weightage which you saw previously for engineering mechanics, it was there in the strength of material part only. Now we can expect questions of 1 or 2 marks in engineering mechanics. It's a very small subject, but the concepts of engineering mechanics are used in a lot of subjects, including transportation, including geotechnical engineering, including the design aspects, subjects as well, and including your structural analysis part as well. So the concepts of engineering mechanics are very, very important. Just cover up the important topics: calculation of reactions, resultant, equilibrium, and free body diagram and friction part. So these are key topics which can be considered for your engineering mechanics, because these topics are specifically used in other subjects as well. That's why I mentioned it over here, right? Apart from that, strength of materials are quite important. Weightage, you can see 5 to 8 marks is there. SFD and BMD is one of the most important topics. Slopes and deflections, bending stresses and torsion stresses as well. Bending stresses and torsion stresses or shearing stresses. Column and combined direct and bending stresses. Apart from that, complex stresses, simple stresses as well. So these are some topics with respect to their importance have been listed in front of you. Most of the questions are witnessed from these particular topics only, so you can see the important topics as well. I'm not saying ignore the other topics. I'm saying that these are the topics from which the questions have been witnessed. So if you are falling short of time by the end of the examination preparation, you can just cover up the important topics, right? Apart from that, RCC and PSC, approximate weightage, you can see 5 to 6 marks. Singly reinforced sections, shear, column, pre-stressed concrete beams. Pre-stressed concrete is one of the most important topics of RCC and PSC subject. You cannot ignore pre-stressed concrete at any case, right? In no case you can just ignore this particular topic. This is one of the most important topics. Apart from that, singly reinforced shear and column, singly reinforced beam sections, a lot of questions have been asked, specifically the aspects of limit state method uh, questions and assumptions, and the analysis part of limit state method for flexural cases. They have been asked a lot. Modified questions of the concept of uh, the assumptions of beam bending cases as well. So, and try to cover previous year questions for these particular topics. If you are falling short of understanding of why these topics have been listed in front of you. Apart from that, structural analysis, approximate weightage is close to 4 to 5 marks. And key topics you can see, it is methods of sections, energy principles, slope and deflections. Only the rotation part have been asked a multiple number of times. Moment distribution method as well. Plastic analysis, as I told you, it is one of the most important topics. You will see questions from this at, in almost all the years previously from plastic analysis. So it cannot be ignored. Influence line diagrams quite easy and asked a lot. Cables as well, quite easy. So from my point of view, the structural analysis topic is easy, but students are very much reluctant in going towards structural analysis. But if you solve the previous year questions, you will understand the level of questions which have been asked for the last couple of years only from a couple of topics like energy principles and slopes and deflection. Quite good questions were asked. But if you want to have an understanding, okay, what this is the level, if you are not you have not until now recognized the level of questions which are asked in structural analysis, first solve previous year questions. I know there are a lot of students who kind of leave this particular subject for the last, right? I don't know why, but it should not be done. But some students are there who kind of consider structural analysis as very, very tough topic and they leave it for last. So you can see the topics on your screen right now. Just take a screenshot of this, solve previous year questions for these topics first, and then move towards the test series part and make your notes on site as well, if you want to. Apart from that, steel structure, very less weightage. Most of the questions which have been asked from welded sections only, 2 or 3 welded connections only. Both eccentric and simple. Here eccentric is written, but simple welded connections have also been asked. There are only 1 or 2 types of questions which are there in welded connections which have been asked previously multiple number of times, right? There is a question specifically, for this kind of connection, right? A simple connection, simple welded connection, and this type of question had been asked in engineering services prelims as well as multiple number of times in gate examination as well for welded connections and tension members also. A couple of questions have been asked. Previously, a question from last year, 2025, a question was asked for batten columns. Many people were thinking that it is a question of batten columns, or the concept was actually from eccentric connections, bolted eccentric connections, the kind of design which is there for the connection. But nevertheless, if you want to prepare steel structures, go with the previous year questions, and it's not required that you cover 100% syllabus for steel structures at all. It will be a waste of time. Apart from that, geotechnical engineering, as I told you, all of these topics are very, very important. You cannot ignore any of these topics in geotechnical engineering. From my point of view, if you have a choice between 2 or 3 topics and geotechnical engineering is there, cover this first, right? Apart from that, environmental engineering, more number of topics are there in environmental engineering. It is a bit lengthy subject, as well as it takes quite a lot of time to revise all the topics of environmental engineering as well. But the best way to revise environmental engineering is through questions, because mostly in environmental engineering you will see that numerical questions have been asked. people tend to revise engineering services prelims questions as well. I don't know why they do that, but most of the times in environmental engineering, you'll see numerical questions from quality of water and wastewater as well. So these are the topics: quality of water. You will see most of the questions, basic numerical questions from alkalinity, pH, hardness problems. You will see sedimentation tank analysis and design problems. You will see a lot, especially the settling velocity concept. Apart from that, coagulation, velocity gradient topic, a lot questions you will see. Filtration, rapid sand filter, head loss, you'll see a lot. Apart from that, disinfection, chlorine demands, HOCl and OCl minus concepts have been asked quite a lot of times. Apart from that, treatments in grid chamber design, activated sludge process specifically, one of the most important topics for your all the equations of activated sludge process and calculation of F by M ratio and the concepts related to that. A lot have been asked previously. Apart from that, sludge treatment, volume calculations, and anaerobic digester questions, oxidation pond design, disposal of effluents. You'll see the oxygenation, reoxygenation part, that is very, very important. And a couple of questions from eutrophication as well, and air pollution. Very less questions from sound pollution, by the way. More number of questions from air pollution, right? Types of pollutants and their concentration, and obviously ELR and ALR, types of fumes as well. Apart from that, you'll see another topic, that is transportation engineering. Transportation engineering, all of these topics are very, very important. Pavement materials, also you can consider the Marshall design and everything. That can be also considered as an important topic. Apart from that, traffic engineering and geometric design, which is one of the most important topics. You'll see a lot of questions from all these three, by the way, but traffic and geometric design, you'll see the most questions. But apart from that, surveying, approximate weightage 4 to 5 marks. You'll see chain surveying, compass surveying, traversing, photogrammetry, theory of errors, trigonometric labeling as well. Approximate weightage 4 to 5 marks you can expect from surveying. Now, in surveying, the error calculations in chain surveying, right? Long chain, short chain, the error, the tapes aspect as well, calculation of error questions, compass surveying, local attraction topic is one of the most important topics, and also finding out the location of the quadrant, whole circle bearing or quadrant circle bearing. You'll see traversing, photogrammetry, theory of errors, and trigonometric leveling as well. Apart from that, hydrology questions you can see, very, very important topic, precipitation, infiltration, and hydrograph. If you are, reluctant in preparation for hydrology, cover these 3-4 topics for gate examination: flood routing and groundwater hydrology. That is your Darcy's equation for calculation of discharge in wells, right? That is your groundwater hydrology. You'll see a couple of questions. That is a common topic for environmental engineering, geotechnical engineering, as well as in hydrology as well. So you can consider the weightage of this in the previous 2 topics also. But apart from that, these 4 topics, if you want to cover, you can cover. Less questions from flood routing, but Muskingum equation, the storage equation which is there, just go and understand that equation if you want to do previous year questions for that. Apart from that, irrigation, water requirements of crops, that's it. I mean, it's up to you if you want to prepare other topics as well, but water requirements of crops, if you are okay with that, just prepare one topic. Very high chance that 1 or 2 questions in these 2-3 marks will be coming from water requirements of crops only. Apart from that, open channel flow, very, very important and very scoring actually, 3 to 4 marks. A small topic of your fluid mechanics, but very, very scoring from my point of view. Hydraulic jump and channel transition questions, and also the slope profile, the type of slope profile questions which are there. Very, very important and can be covered in less time. In 1 or 2 days, if you want to cover, you can just cover, revise and solve all the questions. previous year, and then go with the test series. Apart from that, fluid mechanics topics, flow through price, very important. Fluid dynamics, Bernoulli's and moment equation. Apart from that, fluid statics as well. Now, these were your main subjects and all the subjects which are there and which can be considered for your weightage aspect, important topics. And if you are revising, give priority to these topics while you are revising your subjects. Now, coming back to this topic, that okay, types of questions which are there. So there are 4 types of questions: recall, comprehension, application, analysis, and synthesis. So there are these 4 topics, 4 types of questions which are there. Apart from your MCQ, MSQs, and NATs, this is your another classification. And within these 3 types of questions, the questions can be having these 4 natures. The question can be a very quick question. Okay, you read the question, you saw the options, okay, tick mark and move forward. Comprehension type questions, that means you have to read a lot of text and then some options will be given to you or a fill in the blank will be given to you. You have to go for the answer. They take somewhere around quite amount of time because some reading is required. Application type questions, application in the sense a particular concept is there, you read the text and you have to apply that concept and get the answer. And analysis and synthesis type of questions. But point is, you need to have an understanding of how much amount of time you will be dedicating to these type of questions, right, during the examination. And that can be done by giving test series. Now, a recall type question is there. How much amount of time you need to solve such questions? If you know the concept, this can be done in 10 to 30 seconds. That's it. Not more than that. Move forward. On an average, you have to spend 3 minutes of time on a particular question. The time you are saving in these type of questions will be utilized in all these 3 types of questions, right? Now, there can be some application and analysis type of questions which are straight away direct and just apply the numerical, just apply the formula and get the answer, right? And there will be some questions in analysis and synthesis also in which some calculation is required. There are 4 or 5 steps to get that answer. Obviously, that question should not be done in the first go. See, attempting a paper has 3 levels. So during the level 1 or during the first phase of reading of the paper, so in your first 3 hours, in the total 3 hours, divide the time into 3 parts. First 1.5 hours should be given to this level 1. So the questions which are direct, easy to attempt from your point of view, solve in that first 1.5 hours. So this will be your first 1.5 hours. Next, level 2. Level 2, that means your second run for the exam. So you went through the entire examination. This level 2 should take 1 hour of your time. The questions which you think that can be, solved, which are requiring quite some time, now solve in this particular level 2. And leave the half hour at the end, which for your level 3. That means whatever now questions have been left behind or you think they were requiring quite a lot of time and you have to think a lot, you need to remember what was the concept, solve it in the level 3, right? So divide your 3 hours like this, okay? And solving of questions should be within these 3 hours. Now, in your preparation strategy, so I have left this entire page blank. Why I have left this entire page blank? Because of the fact that you have to make your own preparation strategy. You can just take inspiration from toppers, teachers, mentors, a lot of videos which are there all across YouTube. But at the end of the day, you are supposed to solve questions in the actual examination, right? And while you are revising, there are three things which are to be kept in mind. Revision can be done through your notes. Revision can be done through previous year questions. Revision can be done through test series, right? Now, in your notes, there is not only your class notes which have been taught to you. In your notes, there is short notes as well as the mistakes you have been doing in the test series aspects as well. So there are your notes, your short notes, your class notes, everything. There are your PYQs, right? Second, and the third one, that is your test series. All of your time should be given to these three, right? And depending upon your current situation, you have to divide all of your time for these three only. Now, by the end of, this is the end only, 2 months are left for GATE examination, most of your time should be given to PYQs and test series and continuously revising through your notes as well, analyzing your mistakes, updating your notes, and going one by one to the notes once again and solving test series and PYQs again and again. So keep that in mind. Test series and PYQs, specifically the test series part, should be taking 80% of your time, logically speaking. Are you falling on in this category or not? It's up to you, right? If I'll tell what I was doing during this particular time, in the last couple of months, I was just focused on test series and continuously making sure the kind of mistakes I am doing and writing them in my notes again and again, revising early in the morning and late at night. When I was waking up in the morning, I was waking up with my notes, around 2 hours of my time in the morning I was dedicating to my notes. After that, at night as well, 1.5 hours I was dedicating to my notes. And during the day, I was only focused on PYQs and test series, and mostly test series. At this end point, solving as many questions as possible is the way to go for, right? And revising through questions only should be your main goal. People think it is other way around, that you need to revise your notes first and then go towards test series and PYQs. But I don't think so, personally, right? Mostly your entire bifurcation, it is in front of you, and this is actually 20% of your time. This 4.5 hours, actually your 20% of your time, and mostly during the day, solve as many questions as possible. Only 5 to 6 hours of sleep is more than enough in these last 2 months, and the rest, your entire day should be dedicated towards these three parts. Now, fill in the blanks according to your needs and change these numbers according to your understanding of what kind of preparation you are doing and what is the level you are at the current stage. So that's it from this video. If you have any doubts regarding the preparation strategy, comment down in the comment section. I'll help you corresponding to that, right? I'll make sure that I respond to all the comments which are there in the comment section. Do like this video, share it with your friends if you think it will be helpful for them. Subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.